Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to move this camera. Actually, if I turn this, oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I just have to try to get everything. Doesn't really fit well there. I don't like that it falls all the time. Didn't fall, don't fall. All right, hi, welcome. We are making the Dreamcatcher quilt from Spectacular Quilt Simplified. Um, we're making a block 2. So it is not set up as a block of the month, but I'm using it as a block of the month in order to sew along with all of you. I sew very fast, so people often say, "You sew too fast. I can't keep up with you." So I have all of my fabrics laid out according to what I need. I have all of my pieces prepped. Again, this is the block that we're making. We're going to make 4 of them. They finish at 10.5 by 10.5, or they're unfinished at 10.5 by 10.5. Oops. And the only thing I've done is I've made some HSTs. So I took the 2 fabrics that I needed and I sewed them together to make 2 8 at a time HSTs. So I drew lines. From the diagonal line, I drew 2 lines 1/4 inch away, sewed on them, and now I'm going to cut in between. Those 2 lines are on that drawn line, and then I'm going to press them and trim them down. Now, you are going to make extra. Let me just double check what it says. In this book, in this pattern, there's a couple of places where you're prepping things for future use. So your future self will thank you for prepping all of these great things. So what you're going to do is this is for block 2 and block 12. No, sorry. Each and 12 units for blocks 3 and 4. So you'll use 4 units for block 2 and 12 units for 3 and 4. So I have these extra ones here and I don't need them. They are extra. I will use them in blocks 3 and 4, which is really nice because part of the work is already done. I do need 4, so I only need 2, these 2. So we're going to trim these to the size that's mentioned in the pattern. I can't give you all of those things because it's not my pattern. But when I cut HSTs, I use a ruler with a 45-degree line, a diagonal line, and I place it on where my 2 triangles meet. So, and then I just line it up to whatever size I'm cutting it to. If it's 6 inches or 10 inches or 1.5 inches, I'm trimming it to that and then getting my pieces ready for me. Okay, I don't think I need those anymore. So I'm going to just move them out of the way as not to confuse myself. And you can use any ruler to do this as long as it has the 45-degree line. It can be closer to the size that your block is, or it can be larger, as long as it's larger. Trying to cut this, if I was trying to cut this to what I am with like a 2-inch or a 1.5-inch ruler, it's not too small. So better to just get a bigger one. So that's the first part of our task, is to make those HSTs, which we've done. We're going to make 2 blocks here. I have all my units now made for my first block. My second block, I have to make all of those units, but I'm able to show you my unit before I sew it. So the next unit we're going to make is this one here, and it is this unit right here. Isn't that cute? Actually, I think it goes this way. There we go. That's a really cute unit. So the main thing here is you want to make sure that your slant is going the right way. So you're either going right facing or left facing. So make sure, and the instructions are in the book on how to do that. But you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. So here we're going to stitch from the upper right to the lower left. But I'm going to start in the left because I don't like to start in the corner. I'm trying to get stuck in my feed dogs. So again, just a bonus block. These are actually cut offs from these other blocks that I've made from these exact blocks. So we're going to have lots to sew up today. Okay. I don't know where everybody is. Wallace! I just wanted him to bring me some iced tea. Iced tea. I don't want to leave and go get iced tea because I'm doing my live. So I'm going to press that back. I don't have any white in this quilt. This is probably, well, my gray. No, I think this is my lightest fabric. So I'm always pressing to the darker side, just pressing it where it's most convenient. So now we're going to stitch from the upper left to the lower, no, the middle right to the lower left. I'm just wondering if you could grab me some iced tea, because I'm doing a live and I didn't want to leave here in case you run out. Not my straw, though. Straw. Thanks. How's it going? Do you want to take a shower? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. That's fine. Later. Sure. Sit down. All right. We're going to just do our bonus block here. I have so many of these cutoffs to sew together. I'm tempted to just start throwing away, but I don't want to do that because it's good fabric. A great little piece. So I might have to just sit and sew all those pieces together. All right. So you're going to use G, L, and D in your colors. These are my colors. The fabric she used in this, I don't think is available anymore. And then it tells you in there how big it's supposed to be. So we can size it up. It's supposed to be blah, blah, blah. Blah. Actually, if I flip it, I can see the size I want. Blah, blah, blah. Not too. Oh, it looks good. There's just a tiny piece here, and here looks good. Yeah, just a little piece there I cut. So now there's our piece. Now my piece isn't perfectly here. It's not right at what I need it to be at. So it needs to be 5.5. It's not quite 5.5. It's a little bit short, but I can still catch it within the seam allowance. So I'm just going to have to be a little bit more careful in watching how I sew things together. I'm not a pinner, and I don't think I'm going to change that anytime soon. All right. So now you need your M. Is that M? C, M, and C, and H, and I. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your C block and your M block, M piece, and you're going to stitch it this way. And you want it to go, now this is the piece. No, it doesn't go that way. It goes, just a second. I got it. This is, for parentheses, these are, I think, for right leaning units, right leaning. I want to make sure that I do this right. So I'm going to go back in the book where she talked about making right leaning units. The nice thing about that is, the instructions are there for you, and you can just go back and look. Right leaning. So I did have it. It goes this way. And then you're going to stitch from here to here. Okay, I was going to do it wrong. And I've done it wrong. So we're going to do that. So we're going to stitch from corner to corner. If you want a more accurate block, I would suggest drawing the line. So let's do that. I'm going to draw the line and see if it comes out a little nicer. It should. I mean, eyeballing it is great, but definitely stitching it will be good. Okay, I'm going to stitch our bonus block here. Well, that turned out really nice. Look at that. So we're going to trim. And I could trim with scissors, but if you've watched me, you know that I like, if I'm going to keep the half square to cut off, I like it nice and straight. That turned out really great. So definitely drawing the line helped for sure, which I kind of figured it did. I'd just rather not do it if I don't have to. All right, so I will do next. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Doesn't matter if I sew this one or this one. This is my I and my H. Doesn't matter which one I sew first. They both need to go on there. So we're going to place this in the corner like so. Line it up and on all three sides. And then we're going to draw our line from corner to corner. And then we're going to draw. We're going to sew. Oh, not that way. I like to start from the middle. If I can prevent fabric building up in my feed dogs, that's better than anything. Now we're going to trim. If you're ever hesitant, check before you trim it to make sure it's doing what you want it to do. So definitely drawing the lines is helping me. So I'm going to continue to do. Wallace! Wallace! Don't pick on your sister. So now we're going to put H over here and we're going to stitch now down here. Oh, move it up. So down here, we're going to stitch and follow that line all the way up. Okay. We need to see on the line or just shy of the line. Do our check to make sure it's covering that corner because you can always restitch it if it's not doing what you want. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I think it'll be just fine. So trim, and we'll give it a press. And then we have another unit already done. So there's another unit. And you can see, I'll grab the block, that this unit, there's our block, goes right here on the side and helps to form that beautiful piece. Okay. Now these are just 4, so there must be 1 in each quadrant because what you do is you sew all your pieces and you put 1 piece in each quadrant. So that is what we are doing. All right, so now we're going to make this piece, and this is, I don't know, oops. Let's go back to the instructions. I don't want to mess it up. And that's not actually the next unit. So let's do, this is the next unit, this one right here with just a corner. So let's do that unit. So we're going to take our piece, we're going to place it here, and we're going to stitch from corner to corner. So let's draw that line. There we go. Just going to line that up better. And we're going to stitch. I'm using the default stitch length, which is the 2.5. I think that's fine. I haven't had any issues. Thank you. What a nice cup. Thanks, Wallace. Nice when your kids can, lend a hand and help you out. Okay. So now we're going to check and make sure that we like how the corner looks. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that. And we're going to right. Sorry, I gotta send a text. I'm doing a live right now on TikTok and YouTube, so I'll chat with you later. There we go. Okay, so there's our piece. That turned out so great. I really like how that turned out. All right, so we're done with that. Now we need another snowballed unit. We need, and this is a right facing, no, this is a left leaning unit. So it goes this way. When you're doing the right, it goes, when you're doing the right, it goes this way. When you're doing the left facing unit, it goes this way. And we're going to draw a line. And we're going to sew from corner to corner. So let's see how that turned out, guys. Bonus block going in. Everything I'm cutting off is getting sewn. It's not helping me with my pile that I need to sew together, but I'm not adding to my pile, so that's good. And eventually, I guess, I will be cutting those. So let's see how this looks. So this is the unit that we're trying to make right here. And my unit is looking absolutely great. So now let's cut that off. Give that a little snip. And then we're going to go press this. And just lay it. Well, you know what? Let's lay it. Set those seams. I really think that is something that has really helped me improve, is setting my seams, getting them nice and accurate. And clearly drawing the line is a bonus. It's helping me as well. They're just slightly longer than my diagonal seam tape. The tape does really help too, because it helps me stay consistent. So now we're going to draw from this to this because we want the little corner done. So if we draw it, fold it, and then fold it over. Oh yeah, that looks great. So let's do that. So we're going to come back on. Trim, trim. And we're going to trim off that piece. Now, I didn't look at it before, but I was pretty confident that I had put it where I needed it, and it looks great. It looks really, really great. So let's press that, set that seam, roll it back. And there you have it, another unit. And you need to make 4 of these because we're making 4 blocks. So you need to make one of every one of these units for the pattern to make 4 complete blocks. Okay, I have 2 blocks made and 1 unit already made. Our final unit is a very large, it's probably the longest unit. So we're going to carefully make that. And this is a left leaning unit. Okay. So that goes last. We're going to start with our dark blue because that's what's at the end here. Then we're going to take our green here. So this is J, C, M, and H. And we're going to place this here. No. Wait a minute. We're going to take, no. I'm going to start this way and we're going to place this one. We're going to start with this one because it's left unit. We're going to start from the left and work our way out. We can do this one anytime. So I'm going to choose to do that one after I do my longer pieces. So I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to stitch from corner to corner. You can pin, of course. You can do whatever helps you keep things together. I'm going to check to make sure that's doing what I want it to do, which it is. It's giving me that line that I want. It's going the way that I want it to look like this unit here. Once you get one unit done, it's not so bad. So then we're going to set that seam and we're going to roll it back and lay it nice and flat. As flat as we can anyways. I don't press any seams open. When you press that seam open, there's nothing there except thread. And as a long arm quilter, not to say that there isn't issues with quilts sometimes because threads comes apart or your seam allowance is too short or whatever. But I found that if they're like stitching in the ditch, there's just, if it's open, there's nothing there. There's no fabric there. So I don't like to do it that way. So now we want to make this piece here, have this long blue piece. So I have my dark blue piece here, which is J, depending on what you're using. I did try to pick colors that were similar to what was in there. I did. Did I succeed? Meh, kind of. Kind of. I was more interested in using what I had. Do you need anything? You don't know? Did you want to, are you going somewhere? We have to braid your hair before you go play with friends. Oh, come here, give me a hug. Oh, my girl. Can we get a brush? Yeah. Okay, get a brush. I'm not going to brush it right away, but we will get a brush. Okay, so now let's see if this turned out the way we wanted to. And it did. Look at that. It looks really good. So we're going to trim it. Always best to check. Even the most confident of us can. Oh, I've done it where I cut it. I was all confident, open it up, go, oh, shoot. And then because I cut it, my piece is now flawed. It won't work for what I'm trying to do. All right. So I just need to do this one corner. So we're going to draw a line from corner to corner. Start brushing the ends. I'll help you when I'm done my block. Those can't go there. Well, because I'm working. Go over there and brush your hair, sweetheart, because I'm going to roll on your toes. Yep, eyes in. All right, so now we're going to place this in the corner. And because our seam is going this way, that's how we want to place our block. So that when we fold it back, we're covering this lower left corner. So just like that. So we're going to line everything up. And we're going to stitch down. So there we go. Get the one for wet hair. The brush for wet hair. That's not the brush for wet hair. Oh, okay. Well, we did put lots of spray in it, so I think that seems to help. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, so now we're going to trim this off. And then we just have to assemble our block. So really easy to do. And you do need the pattern to know what size to cut everything. The instructions tell you to cut everything in advance. So that's what I've done. Oops, I took so this here. With the exception of one piece of material. I got it a little bit late and I just didn't cut it yet. I don't need it, so I didn't cut it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take all our pieces. We're going to make 2 blocks here. I guess I should throw that in there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay out our pieces according to the pattern and to what we've already made. So this piece is the butt of our block. This section is the side of our block. So it kind of goes together like a log cut, I guess, for lack of a better term. Okay, then this piece with the 3 colors goes there. This other piece that's shorter with the same 3 colors goes on the side. Then this piece goes here. Our half square triangles like that. And I did need those 2 H's. They go in the corner. I put them away. And I still need them. Ooh, you're doing a good job. Now flip it to the other side and brush the other way on your other shoulder so you brush different hairs. You're doing such a good job. Your hair's so freaking long. Okay, JoJo's hair is super, super long. All right, so now we're going to start sewing this together. So we're going to sew 1/4 inch, and we can sew both blocks at the same time. If that doesn't confuse you, you can do that. If it confuses you, sew one at a time. But I'm sewing each section Then I have to stop, press, because I need them to go. There's no, you have to work your way out. We do have to press in between. And I prefer to press with the iron than just a finger pressing. It's just more accurate, better results. Okay, so then I put my piece right back where I took it out of, and then I'm going to now sew my next section on. So bottom and then bottom and then side. I'm gonna stitch this down. Go. Okay, and then again, we're gonna sew this piece here from the bottom, flip it up over top. We're gonna put right sides together. We're gonna line it up nice and straight. Going to sew down. 1/4 of an inch, doing our very best. Grab. Look at all these cutoffs from previous blocks. Lots of cutoffs. We're gonna sew these together. All right, so we're gonna take these over and press them. I'm gonna roll it back. Set that seam, roll it back. Seems to be the most accurate way to get your block to do what it needs to do. How's it going there, Joe? You almost got it all out, eh? Make sure you get the top of your head. Okay, I'll help you in a second. All right, so now we have our little block, the tip of our block. So we're going to take this next side unit here and sew it to here. Making sure we don't rotate it, we don't turn it, we just add it to the block. And then we're going to keep going, okay? All right. Just gonna keep going. Stitch down. I could have done my other one. Then we're gonna flip over, bring over, without moving without turning anything. We want everything to be nice and flat. We're gonna stitch down. Pardon? It sounds like you did. Like it sounds like it's brushing really nice. Okay, so we're going to cut off these little bonus blocks that have been sewing. We're going to press, set the seam, and roll it back. Nice and flat again. Just working, to get it nice and flat. No pushing, no pulling, no trying to get, no, we don't want any, creases or anything like that. We just want it sewing really, really nice. And then like this, and then like that. Okay. Then we're going to take this now bottom piece with the 3 colors that were the same as our shorter piece, but we're going to, it's longer. We have a little bit more purple in it, and we're going to sew that down now. And these are supposed to be unfinished at 10.5. So 10-inch finished blocks. The quilt is like 90 by something, 96 by something. I don't remember. Give me a minute. I'm still working on my piece here. I can braid it. You brought me elastic, so that's great. Who are you gonna go? Are you gonna go play some right now? Did you have breakfast? Okay, are you hungry for lunch? It's almost lunch time. I can make chicken noodle soup. Let me finish this. How about you go find a pot and you go find chicken noodle soup, and then I'll come down and I'll braid your hair when I get down there. Well, I have to still sew this, sweetheart. No, I'm not braiding it right now. Oh, there's still knots in it. Hey, it's your first time. You're doing a great job. I got hair everywhere. Oh, Joe's hair is just above the back of her knee now. Like it's quite long. It's very pretty. I wish my hair was that long. Oh, I'd love that. My hair's too short. And I'm trying to grow it, and it just doesn't seem to want to cooperate. All right. So here is the next section of the block. That looks super cool. So now what we're going to do, and I don't check the sizing in between unless I see something's really off, like really off, really weird. I don't actually check the section. It does tell you, does it tell you what size it is there? No, it doesn't tell you. So I don't bother to check. Sometimes I might check, but I may not trim. I look to see, does this is the next piece to go on the side here, on the right side. Is it going to um, be where I want it to be? Is it long enough? Is this matching upright? Is it too long? Is it too short? And then decide if my other piece needs a trimming. And it doesn't seem to, so I'm going to sew it together. So down this whole side. And we'll do the other down this whole side. Such a pretty, it's going to be interesting. I didn't use any kind of software program with my fabrics to decide how it was going to be. I simply picked colors that kind of were what she had kind of work. And just kind of, they work together. Now, this black might seem like it's a little of a weird color, but it has all of the colors of the quilt in it, kind of scattered throughout. So I think it'll bring it together. And I'm hoping that I like the colors when it's done. So far, I do. I do like the colors together. I feel like they work. So shall see. But I don't do any kind of stick it in some kind of a software program to see if it actually is going to be a good choice for the pattern. I don't do that. Maybe, and I don't know how to do that. I've never learned. I could learn. I just have not. So there we go. I did spray a little bit of flatter. I don't know if you saw that. Just because that one block was not laying flat for me. And that's what I want. So this is what we're at right now. So it should be 10.5 inches wide. I just need it to be now 10.5 inches long. And we're going to sew this beautiful last strip onto it. I'm going to make sure that everything, oopsies, I got two of them there. Everything lines up nice and even, and it's great. And I do have my larger iron plugged in, so I will walk over there after I sew these and press it with the large iron, just so they get nice and pressed really well. All right, so again, just checking to make sure, lining it up, squaring it up to the corner, making sure that it's straight across the top, straight down the side, and then just sewing right along. Pinning is a great option if you're worried about things shifting or moving or not quite lining up the way you want. I don't think I know how to pin. I find I make more mistakes pinning. Okay, so I'm going to step away just for a moment. We'll be done these blocks. And then we'll talk about next steps, prepping for next month's vlog. So I apologize for coming on so late this month. Just a lot of things, happening, and I had some appointments I couldn't change. They were in the evening, which made it kind of weird, and then just kind of made it weird. Then there was, time change. I don't think the time change is good. It's healthy for anybody, because I know so many people who struggle with the time change that I think they need to stop doing that. It's crazy. It really affects you. All right. Here is my final block. You have to make 4 of these. This is block 2. And I think it turns out great. I think there's 6 blocks in total. But isn't that pretty? And then we did make extra HSTs. So we do have some HSTs floating around for block 3 and 4. We're going to make block 3 coming up in April. I was going to say March, but it is March. So there's our 4 blocks. They're definitely getting easier to make as I move along. So your colors may be different than mine, but it's a really fun block. Really fun. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. So that's block 2. Now, let's go to the next page. So again, this is what we're making. This is our finished quilt. And all of these dark blues will be my black from, if I understand correctly how the layout works, will be black, I believe. I think so. Yeah, because that's it's more of a, I think so. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be great. All right. So for units 3 to 6, which is the last of the units, you only have to make 6 units. It says, I thought there was a prepping. I think that there is. Okay. Yes. So on page 47 of the pattern, before you even make block 3, there's prepping. So it says, for the 4 remaining blocks in this unit have almost identical coloring. Because they use so many of the same elements, the construction process has been simplified by first assembling some units that will be used in more than one block. So there's a couple of HST blocks that we need to make. There's a couple of cats in the cradle, I think is what they're called, because they're not quite an hourglass unit, and they're more than a HST. And then there's a couple of the striped blocks that we've made. So we're going to prep those through later on. We're going to prep some of those. So I would suggest, you don't have to do this, but when you go to make the block, they don't make those pieces. Those pieces are already made, and I'm going to hopefully get all of mine made for that. And it'll really make the next steps go really quick. So I'm going to prep those for myself because they're the same. So half square units, I think these are called cats in a cradle, and then some of the other striped units. And I think that will really help me out. So that's what I'm going to do later today. And I won't come on YouTube to do them, but I will come on live here on TikTok to do, I'm sure. So thank you for joining me. This is the second block of the Dreamcatcher quilt by Shelley Cavanagh. And it's it's a beautiful quilt. And I can't wait to see how mine turns out with my coloring. And we'll see you again next time in April with block 3 assembly. If you have any questions, you can email me. Check me out on what was I going to say? You can get back to me through our website. So there's information on how to get a hold of me on our website, www.quiltsforsurvivors.ca. So thanks everyone for joining. I am going to go and why is this not? Hang on a second. My thing is up. There we go. All right.